Last week in Africa, Niger's ruling junta had ordered police to expel France's ambassador, a move marking a further downturn in relations and one that authorities in Paris said the army officers who seized power in Niamey last month had no authority to make. The coup's leaders are following the strategy of juntas in neighboring Mali and Burkina Faso in distancing themselves from the region's former colonial power amid a wave of anti-French movement.
Well, the visas of French Ambassador to Niamey, Sylvain Ite, and his family have been cancelled and police are instructed to expel the envoy. The junta said in a statement dated 29th of August and confirmed as authentic on Thursday by its communications head. Instigators of the coup, condemned by regional African authorities and by Western nations last Friday, ordered Ite to leave the country within 48 hours in response to what they called actions by France contrary to the interest of Niger. It said this included the envoy's refusal to respond to an invitation to meet Niger's new foreign minister.
Well, France has called for ousted President Mohamed Bazoum to be returned to office and said it would support efforts by West African regional bloc ECOWAS to overturn the coup. What's with this Western hypocrisy anyways, we wonder. It's easier for them to demonize Russia, asking them to leave Ukraine's territory, but will not do so when they are asked to leave any African country. Well, under the most recent coup in Africa, we had the most trending news from Africa hit the world as well. I'm talking about the most recent coup in Gabon, where a group of high-ranking military officers in the West African nation of Gabon announced on public television Wednesday that they were putting an end to the current regime and annulling the results of national elections.
Well, the statements came just after the country's election authority declared President Ali Bongo Ondimba the winner of another term in office. The coup leader said they had placed Bongo under house arrest, surrounded by his family and doctors, and that one of his sons had been arrested for treason.
Well, a little rundown here. Bongo has been in power in the country for 14 turbulent years, following in the footsteps of his father, who led the nation for more than 4 decades before him. According to French news agency, the area around Bongo's residence in the capital, Libreville, appeared quiet at the time. If successful, the coup should represent the 10th in West and Central Africa since 2017, and today it has proven successful as they now have a new president.
Well, Niger's military took over the government in July, sending shockwaves through the region and drawing in countries with strategic interest in the region. Here is a timeline of coup in Africa in recent years.
Well, 2019 Sudanese coup d'etat on April 11, 2019, late in the afternoon following mass demonstrations calling for his ouster, President Omar al-Bashir was deposed by the Sudanese armed forces. At the time, the army under the command of Ahmed Ouf overthrew the government and national legislature and proclaimed a 3-month state of emergency in the nation. This was followed by a 2-year transitional period before an agreement was eventually reached.
2020 Malian coup d'etat, on the 18th of August 2020, part of the Malian armed forces initiated a mutiny, which was followed by a coup d'etat. Several government officials were detained, including President Ibrahim Boubacar Keïta, who resigned and dissolved the government. Following the 2012 coup, this was the country's second coup in less than 10 years.
And in 2021, Malian coup d'etat. On the evening of May 24th, On the evening of May 24th, 2021, the Malian army under the command of Vice President Assimi Goïta seized President Ba Ndao, Prime Minister Mokhtar Owen, and Minister of Defense Souleymane Doucouré. This was the nation's third coup d'etat in 10 years, following the military takeovers in 2012 and 2020, the latter of which occurred just 9 months earlier.
2021 Tunisian self-coup. On July 25, 2021, the Hikam Mekichi government was overthrown by Tunisian President Kais Saied, who also suspended the Assembly of Representatives of the People and removed the immunity of its members. Described as a self-coup, the action followed a group of political unrest highlighted by a string of anti-Ennahda protests and the breakdown of Tunisia's healthcare system in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic.
2021, yet again, Guinea coup d'etat. Alpha Condé, the president of Guinea, was taken prisoner by the military on September 5, 2021. The leader of the special forces announced the dissolution of the government and constitution in a broadcast that was televised on state television by Mamadi Doumbouya.
2021 Sudanese coup d'etat, General Abdel Fattah el-Burhan and the Sudanese military staged a coup against the military's government.
January 2022, Burkina Faso coup d'etat. On January 23, 2022, Burkina Faso experienced a coup d'etat. On January 24th, the military made a television announcement that President Roch-Marc Christian Kabore had been removed from office.
September 2022, Burkina Faso coup d'etat. On September 30th, 2022, a coup d'etat removed interim President Paul-Henri Sandaogo Damiba from Burkina Faso due to his apparent failure to handle the nation's Islamist insurgency. Just 8 months earlier, a coup had brought Damiba to power. Captain Ibrahim Traoré assumed command in an acting capacity.
And in 2023, Nigerian coup d'etat. On July 26th, one of the most recent, the Presidential Guard of the Republic of the Niger detained President Mohamed Bazoum, which has caused a lot of stares and reactions. Shortly after declaring the coup a success, Presidential Guard Commander General Abderrahmane Chiani assumed control of a new military junta. And now Gabon. With all the coup, we'd like to get this food for thought from Honorable Mama Kandeh.
I have seen the ECOWAS introducing the anti-coup d'etat unit. We are not in support of coup d'etat, but I have a concern. Before setting up a unit or anti-coup d'etat unit, isn't it time that the African head of states or the ECOWAS head of states look into the reason why there are coup d'etats? What are the root causes of coup d'etats? Let them put their house in order first before they set up an anti-coup d'etat unit. Let them put their house in order. And I believe their house is not in order. This unit is set up to defend them and to protect them only, nobody else. What is more coup d'etat than your national constitution gives you 2-term limit, 5 years, 2 terms. After serving 10 years, you want to change the constitution for another term. Is that not a coup d'etat? Because you feel you have the powers to do that. The soldiers have the powers to coup d'etat. That is also another coup d'etat. And they are living with them there. They are there. In the name of civilian, putting on mufti clothes, calling yourself a Democrat, when you loot all the resources of your country. mislead people, torture them, imprison them, burn their businesses to us, and you call that a democracy? Or a civilian rule and illegally elected government? The leaders must stop lying to their electorate first. They must stop the corruption. They must stop looting our resources. They must understand that they are not a better citizen than anybody. They are given a responsibility, a role to play to help develop the countries and make sure that there is peace and tranquility and respect the constitution of the country. So before you create a unit to go against any attempt of coup d'etat, put your house in order. Stop lying to your electorate. Stop lying to your citizens. Stop looting the resources of your country. Stop corruption in your country.
Well, while these other meetings by the West go on, the people seems to be excited about all of this coup. Should a coup excite the people? Of course, no. But then, if the leaders aren't doing the right things, what happens? Excitement from the Gabonese celebrating the coup happening in their country shocked the whole world. But then, has the leader of the coup that ousted Gabon's former president Ali Bongo sworn in as interim president and chaired by Jubilean supporters today is seen all over the world. And the oppressed society rejoices. This is really a study for Africans in this very trying period.
Moving on, the foreign news.